Welcome to Bonsai Therapy. We are going to be working on this Hibiscus Syriacus. This thing, wow, this thing, it's insane. I had a lot of hibiscus popping in my backyard because these trees are pretty invasive in New Jersey. They grow all over the place and they take over other plants. And I had a lot of these in my backyard, so I just took them out and I started playing around with them. I put them in a pot, like in a, in a box that I had around here, and and I started like, okay, let's see what happens in here, what we can do here or not. And the thing is, I just got a few and stuck them in a box, and this thing just went crazy, started growing like crazy. And this is not the ideal tree for a forest, but as I am learning, the thing is, I try everything, so you never know. And these trees, some of them they grew so much that it was like one tree in the middle, that the other trees and the other leaves and the other branches pulled them out of the ground, just for the strength of the growth, kind of pushed the tree, and flattened it completely. So I removed it, and because it dried out, and but this is a perfect example. This hibiscus thing, this thing just grows in anything, like any soil, anything. You just put it there. The Syriacus, not like the other ones, I don't know, but this one, this grows on everything. Like, you water it, you forget to water it, it just keeps going and going. Winter, I don't know if it loses all its leaves. I know that but I think so. I think it would lose all its leaves. But the thing is, when there's no trunks on this tree, when it grows in the wild, when there are no trunks, usually the tree dies back to the root, and then next year it pops again. But even if it's going to lose all the leaves, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm just going to give it a trim, just to see how it goes, and for you guys to see also this forest thing with impossible material. So I kind of started a little bit doing at the bottom before I realized that out here wasn't going. So I'm starting again, and you can see the rest. The rest of it is still a lot. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take like the big leaves first, and I'm gonna keep the small ones, and then we are going to trim it in a way that we can see the trunks. So it says that's the forest way. You like to see the trunks of the trees, and that's basically. See, I did some work here. I took some out of here and some out of here too, and I'm going to keep going, like taking the small ones. These ones are growing too close to the base of this branch, so I might as well remove them. I usually go slow on this. I don't do like extreme cuts right away. I just do smaller ones, and then we can go and correct it. Right here, just gonna take these ones out. I'm gonna take these leaves out just for the simple reason that they're messing up with the next one. And since this is a forest, you can remove some of these branches that are growing like sideways. Just take them all out, because they're going to be in the way. And then we play with the height, get a few higher than others and stuff like that. This one I'm just gonna cut it on here because I need to see stuff. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. And then the usual stuff applies. You're gonna take all the stuff that is growing inside, as I said, I'm gonna take the big ones and leave the little ones. Well, there's a good chance, I don't know if I said that, there's a good chance that some of these leaves are gonna all die or come out in the winter, but well, let's do it anyway. See, just by taking the bigger ones, just by taking the bigger ones, we already have a cleaner look over there. Like the tree that came out was here, like more or less in this area here, and all these trees kind of push it down. Accidentally, it follows the rule of the forest. There should be uneven numbers, so it's like 3, 5, 7, because now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and before we had 6. Not that I really care about that rule. It is what it is, and I'm not too crazy about rules. I was never too crazy about rules. So that rules are made to be broken. This guy now, we really don't need the shear on this one. You just pluck them out. It'll be fine. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, like working different trees at the same time in a forest, but since we kind of have an idea of what we want to do, I think it's cool. See, there goes another room. Now what we want to do again is show the trunks, and then after we do that, then we can worry about going around and do something else. So we had to have a little break right here. Been called by my doctor's office for a doctor's appointment, and yeah, and they call at the best time all the time. It wouldn't be the last call. And okay, let's keep going. So right now, taking the big leaves first, because we need to see what's going on inside this tree or inside this forest. I don't think there's nothing that's like really in bonsai. This is like difficult stuff, yeah, but I wouldn't call like everything like there's no impossible as long as you try, you know. Keep trying your stuff. Some of it's gonna work, some of it's not gonna work. Like this year I lost 3 trees that I was really kind of invested, and I really wanted to these trees to succeed. But it is what it is, you know. You're going to lose trees, and you're going to be surprised with some trees that you thought that you would lose, and then they came out, they bounced back, and you know, and that's always a cool thing, you know. I think when a tree bounces back, it kind of makes up for the trees you lose. Either that, or you just want an excuse to feel better. That's the way it is. So we're keeping like cleaning up this mess here. So as you can see, I'm going around from tree to tree and trying to figure this out. This one is growing inside, so it's not a good idea. This branch here is pretty much dead, so you can remove it. Even one in the middle. You can just stick it like that. And some of these leaves you don't even need. You don't really need the scissor for some of this stuff. I'm not really worried about this hibiscus. This thing just keeps growing like crazy. And they grow on anything. They're not picky about the soil. Very invasive in New Jersey. So we have like an endless supply of this stuff. That's the cool thing about having a backyard. I think this one here, it's pretty much done. You see like all the space that we got already. This is all summer growth. It just kept growing and growing. And I have more. We're gonna be like working those out too, because yeah, I have a lot of Hibiscus Syriacus. You know, they're in the backyard. They grow in the backyard. Might as well just pick them up and try to do something with them. I don't know if it's a good idea to treat the entire forest as one tree, you know, like cut whatever is crossing, whatever's not supposed to be there, you know, and just go with it. The big leaves, I take them out, you know, because they're gonna be shading the smaller ones. That's not a good thing. So basically what I'm doing here is just like taking the big ones, leave the little ones. And hope for the best. Sure. Now let's go to the next one. Take this stuff out of this, the lower areas of this thing. And then as we go, we can, when we're done cleaning the bottom, we can just go and work the top. Because again, when you're working forests, you really want to be able to see the trunks. So I like to go like pretty high on the trimming. Again, it was a good idea, that it was a good thing that these trees pushed out between the middle. Again, for tradition's sake. We followed the tradition that forests should be uneven, or should have like uneven trees. And I had 6 trees, and this forest decided to take matters in its own hands and just push the other tree out. So now we got 5 trees. As the rules go. Not too crazy about rules. And bonsai, it's just like that. Bonsai, it's you and your tree. If you like it, it's good. If you don't like it, well, you try to make it the way you like it, because it's yours. So people are gonna say, "Oh, that doesn't look good." Well, if it looks good to you, it's good. Actually, I am enjoying this the way this little forest is coming up. We might have some issues in the winter with the wind, so I gotta protect this thing from the wind. See right here, this one here. I'm going to take this branch out because it's growing too low on the trunk, so I'm just going to remove it. And I don't really want like new branches coming up too low on the tree. I guess in the forest, since we are reducing the foliage at the bottom, we don't need branches at the bottom. See, this one here still needs a lot of work, like taking some leaves out. Actually, I'm pretty happy that I'm working these trees today, because I wasn't really like in the best of moods, and now I'm feeling better. And I'm going to fill out this box a little more with soil, just to give it more, just to give the trees a more strong, like a stronger base. Because as I told you guys, this was, you know, this was just because I had lots of trees and I was like messing around. I never thought this thing would catch up the way it did, but since it did, you know, let's give it a better chance of survival. Like this winter, what I would like to do, it would be basically to get a few pots, because the plan with me usually is like last winter what I did, I invested in tools. This spring I didn't touch it, like I didn't buy tools, I just got soil companies. Like, we can talk a little bit about my soil. I kind of changed it a little bit. So I went for a little more organic. It's still coarse, but it's more organic than it used to be. So I just added a little more of that thing that you call, and everybody dreads, potting soil. Oh no, potting soil. No. Potting soil as a component, it's not that bad. And usually my my trees, the way they go, there's lots of stone on those trees, lots of like gritty stuff, sand. And I think a little organic matter helps. This makes me think that probably I might have lost one tree or two due to that, to being too green and not having enough organics. So if you've been following the way it was, this is the way it is now. We're not done yet. We are going to keep going. And we didn't even got to the top of it, which is fine. We'll get there. Because might think that I'm taking too much. I might be taking too much, I don't know. I hope not. Honestly. So it looks pretty bare. Or it's starting to look. And then later we probably gonna have to move these trees around. Sneezing. There was a sneeze. I don't think like I'm allergic to this, or else I would be already like going crazy. Get in there now. See, this is important here because you don't want this leaves to grow branches. As branches start messing up with the trees around. That's why probably like next spring I'm going to be moving these trees around a little bit. So what I'm trying to do here is like taking the stuff from the bottom, show the trunks, and then the top we're gonna play with the height of the trees, so that we can play with the tops, so that the tops are not gonna be conflicting with one another. Crossing that one, pick it out. So as you can see, we clean the bottom. And before I do anything, I think, before I do anything, I was thinking that maybe I should take this branch out, but this branch is growing where there's nothing, so it can keep going there for now. Right? Then when you get to this point, you start, looking at your little forest and start thinking, what are you gonna do top wise? See, I have a problem with these two trees, that they're too close together. I'm gonna have to end up like removing them. In a later time I'll remove them. But yeah, I like it. I think that if you see it from here, it's perfect, like on this angle, like this. It's fine because the trees, you can see all the trees, and there's a little sense of depth on it. So I like it. I like the way it's coming up. If you go a little farther down, this is how it is. Now you might want to get it a triangular shape, which I'm not really worried about it right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not really worried about the triangular shape right now because these trunks are not really strong yet. So I kind of want to have some foliage on top to, strengthen them up. And I still want these trees to grow taller, so we get some strength going into the trunks. Yeah, so that's it. I think our little forest that was like impossible to do looks pretty cool. Okay, nice. I like it. So this is pretty much it for today. We got our little forest here. I think it's hitting me in the face. I think we can. Yeah, I think it worked just fine. And see, that's what I was telling you guys the other day. Because sometimes we say goodbye and then we go and we still work on the trees a little bit. It's not a disrespect nor anything. We're not rushing anything. It's just that sometimes we kind of realize there was like a thing or two that need to be done. Like this one here, they need to be removed. And basically, oops, that's it. We got it. This is our impossible little forest. No, I'm gonna tell you though, this Hibiscus Syriacus, this thing grows and grows on anything. But it's kind of cool, and it gives flowers. And I don't think any of my hibiscus is going to give flowers this year. First, because they were just you know, taken from the ground and repotted, so it's like the trees are still compensating. And well, but maybe next year. Next year, now if this thing gives flowers, you can forget about the forest, because the flowers are huge. It's going to be a fun thing. So that's why I really don't want to take a lot of height, and because I want the trees to, you know, to grow stronger, so they can take all that abuse, growing abuse. On this one, if it happens to get flowers, as soon as the flowers start showing, the flower buds start showing, I'm gonna cut them, because there's no point in having flowers on the forest. Okay, again, that's it. You guys stay sharp, be good, thank you for watching, and be happy, and go plant something awesome, and have fun doing it. Have a good one.